Welcome to beautiful NKU Soccer Stadium in Highlands Heights, Kentucky. It is the opening day, FC Cincinnati 2 home opener against Chicago FC 2 right here in Highlands Heights, Kentucky. 59 degrees Fahrenheit, beautiful spring conditions in Kentucky for this home opener in the MLS Next Pro 2024 season. This will be the sixth time these two teams have played each other. And the orange and blue, FC Cincinnati, 0 wins, 4 losses and 1 draw against this Chicago Fire 2 team. So they'll be looking to change their fortune at home to open this 2024 season. Taking a look at the starting lineups for the home team. It's going to be Hunter Morse in goal, then Isaiah Foster, left centre-back, London Agudelo, a leader at the back at centre-back. Then there is Brian Schaefer, Ramos Perez and Alejandro Guido at holding midfield, Daly, Mangione and Turcus in the attacking midfield area, and then Castellano and Stitz leading the attack in this 3-5-2 formation presented by Tyrone Marshall, the former Jamaican international. Looking at the away side, Chicago Fire FC 2, a 4-3-3 with Los in goal, Rochester, Connix, Shannon and Hensey. Now Hensey used to be a forward at the beginning of 2023, now converted to a right back in 2024. Casas, Poreba, the attacking midfielder, number 48, Osorio Moreno, Omari Glasgow, the star Guyanese at right wing, Shukaluk at centre forward, and Oregel at left wing makes up the starting 11 for the Chicago Fire FC 2 team. Well, welcome to the broadcast, everyone. My name is Ryan Davis. Happy to be with you on this MLS Next Pro 2024 home opener for the FC Cincinnati 2 team. Chicago Fire, who've had so much success against FC Cincinnati 2, will look to continue that in Kentucky this evening. Coach Tyrone Marshall, his philosophy today is to get on the ball and pressure the team and try to take the game away from Chicago Fire in front of his home crowd, and make this season and this home team a fortress. So Chicago Fire in white from right to left, FC Cincinnati 2 from left to right. Chicago Fire with a very clear understanding of what they want to do. They're going to be a high-octane team playing heavy metal soccer. Quick counters, high pressuring, and try to get from point A to point B with direct passing. But they're under some fire right now as FC Cincinnati look to push forward and create a turnover. And Poreba trying to dissect. This one goes all the way back to Patrick Lose. Out on the far right-hand side. So throw in for FC Cincinnati 2. And it's the first whistle. It's going to be a free kick. Jason Shukaluk trying to get on the end of this one. Trying to clip it forward and clear it away in the end. It was sixes and sevens at the back, and it's going to be the first corner kick of the day, and Chicago will be the one stepping across. Harold Moreno will do the honors in taking the first set piece for the evening. defensive midfielder, 22 years old, El Salvador international. And you can see the wind coming across. Moreno's delivery to the back post. Lay back. There's some pressure. Cross comes in. Oh, and almost a chance for, it's not Shukaluk, but another great delivery from that right-hand side. It was Lamont Rochester overlapping. Rather, it's Omari Glasgow. Great delivery, and now Moreno is going to have the second corner kick for Chicago. Moreno flicked on, can't clear it, and his shot goes high and wide by Billy Hensey. Well, Billy Hensey, 24 years old, from St. Louis, Missouri, his second season. We mentioned at the beginning that he was a center forward last season, scoring 8 goals, and now convinced of playing right back. One ball from the back from Schaefer. Heavy touch by Rochester. And here comes Ben Stitz, leading goal scorer for this FC Cincinnati team last season. He's the glue up top for this Tyrone Marshall offense. Here's David Poreba, who is on loan from Stal Mielec in Poland, the number 48 for Chicago. A 1-year loan and an option to buy for Chicago Fire. This one played all the way back. Here's Schaefer. And to Hunter Morse. Hunter Morse from Western Michigan. Had an impressive season with his college. 16-win season. And has now joined the pros. On the ball, Patrick Lose, 17 years old, a Chicago native. Just called to the national U17 team on Friday, just 2 days ago. That's how impressive he's been. Cesar, Rochester. Chicago want to be unpredictable, free-flowing football. And then that high-octane counter press without the ball. Here's Rochester. Moreno retreats. Diego Koonlinks, number 42, on the bottom of your screen. The Netherlands left centre back. Glasgow is dispossessed. Castellano lays it back. Play between the lines, Stitz flicks it on. And I believe it's going to run away, and it's going to be a goal kick for Chicago Fire. Well, the last 7 weeks of preseason, this team has been building a roster of new players. Chicago Fire, David Poreba, Christian Kofi, Jason Shukaluk, just to name a few. Head coach Ludovic Talander from France, his second season in command of Chicago Fire. 18 years experience as a head coach. They are certainly in good hands. Brought down. Here's Daly. And Moreno concedes the throw-in. Amir Daly. 72 appearances for Duke University. He graduated 1,200 minutes in his collegiate career, a real Iron Man. This one is headed out. Here's Rochester. Player goes down, and a free kick for Chicago Fire. Here's Diego Koonlinks. Played short. It's going to be another throw in for Chicago Fire. Rochester will do the honors. Oh, lovely turn by Origel Jr. Gets it back. Looking for options. Finds Poreba. Chicago Fire now pushing for Amari Glasgow. And he's in an offside position. The 20-year-old phenom, Omari Glasgow from Guyana. He is a pressing machine, according to his coach, Ludovic Telende. And I tell you what, got a chance to see him with the Guyanese national team. And he's turned games upside down on his own. Playing right wing this evening for Chicago Fire. As Brian Schaefer surveys. Mangione. Out wide to Daly. Landon Aguero plays it inside, under pressure, and here they come, Amari Glasgow. The press pays off, but the final pass doesn't. Slipped out wide by Foster, and the young Ilya Tikas couldn't control. Poreba has come with a load of clout. David Poreba. He is an Illinois native, 22 years old, from the Lake Zurich area. And this one is flicked on beautifully to Origel. And the final pass to Shukaluk just can't seem to coordinate with the attacker. And right now Hunter Morse wants to slow things down. Tikas. Quickly taken. Foster giving away, Shukaluk with space. Cuts inside, looking for options. Intercepted. Ramos releasing. And offside. On the far side was Jesus Castellano, the youngster who has so much expectations on his shoulder this season. He had 2 goals in pre-season, so he got the nod in the starting lineup. He is ready for a breakout season, according to his coach. Speed, dribbler, and finds pockets of space. Patrick Lose goes out wide. Here's Foster, going all the way back to Hunter Morse. First touch is a heavy one from Morse, puts Aguero under pressure. And the press pays off for Chicago Fire. It's going to have to. They have put the cards on the table, Chicago Fire, this season. And Coach Ludovic Talende has promised to press high and press often. Amir Daly, the cross. Castellano and Billy Hensey going at it. Interesting matchup with Billy Hensey and Castellano on that right-hand side for Chicago. Billy Hensey, remember, is an attacking type player. But they want to use his technical ability, Chicago, on that right-hand side when he has space to create opportunities for other players. Daly slipping it through, and Castellano was in an offside position. Origel. Cleverly done by Patrick Lose, just clipping the ball around Ben Stitz. Gets past one, but couldn't get past Foster, who came in. Played short. Guido. Interesting decision by the FC Cincinnati 2. Faithful to employ and put Alejandro Guido, who is a veteran player from the San Diego Loyal, played for the USL Championship for many years, and is now brought into FC Cincinnati 2 to be on the field as a leader and then off the field as a communicator. Oh, this is in the pass of Castellano, and he's offside. Boos from the crowd, as you can hear. But Castellano is going to have to leave this one. Opening weekend in MLS Next Pro 2024 season. FC Cincinnati 2 at home, taking on Chicago Fire. Now, these two teams played twice last season in 2023, a 0-0 draw in Chicago. And then here on this stadium, Chicago put Cincinnati to the sword by winning 5-1. Rochester cutting back. Daly providing supports and wins the free kick for the home team. London Agüero, MLS Super Draft from the Air Force Academy, was on the roster versus Monterrey just a few days ago in the Champions Cup. Made his first team debut. This one slipped through, put Patrick Lose to the rescue. Daly down the line. Rochester, Moreno. Heavy tackle from Daly, but he wins it fairly. The switch of the play to Tickas. Early cross, looking for Castellano. Coach Tyrone Marshall wants his FC Cincinnati to get on that front foot in this first half and try to take the game away from Chicago Fire. Still probing for that first win. Had a chance to talk to Tyrone Marshall before this match. And Konix wins possession and wins the free kick as well. Coach Marshall was saying, now that they've formed a pipeline for young talent, they want to now start winning at this level. Now, this portion of the match is brought to you by Subaru. Here's Casas, out wide. Amari Glasgow trekking all the way back. Clears it. Brought down by Moreno. Lovely turn by Shukaluk. And 1-2, Stitz into the path. Mangione. And wins a corner kick for FC Cincinnati. It's the first of the evening. So Jesus Castellano will go across to take this one himself. Delivery to the near post, and it's going to be a second corner in succession for the home team. Castellano again. Going short, Foster lays it back. Castellano. And a thumping clearance and a thumping tackle. You can hear it throughout Kentucky as Javier Casas wins the free kick. It was Peter Mangione who was the leader of this outfit. Ben Stitz is the captain, but very much the vocal leader in the center of midfield. Played short, it's Harold Osorio. Osorio goes down and wins the free kick. So the game has settled somewhat as we enter the 19th minute. Patrick Lose. Thumping clearance looking for Omari Glasgow, but Foster's there. Take us. Little 1-2 to Mangione. Giving chase is Shannon. Billy Hensey, second season, 24 appearances, 16 starts, 8 goals last season. Also 4 assists to go along with those stats. As FC Cincinnati win a free kick. You can see Alejandro Guido directing traffic. This is exactly what he's been brought in for this Cincinnati outfit. Daly couldn't get the 1-2. Rochester turning. Poreba switching it to Glasgow. Throw in for Cincinnati. Ilya Turkas at left wing back. Cincinnati in a 3-4-1-2. Chicago Fire in a 4-3-3. Here they come. Osorio trying to clip it in. Long kick over the head of Shannon and into the arms of Lose. Lose made his debut in May 2023 in the second half of a 3-3 draw with Minnesota United. Didn't take long to impress the onlookers, as we mentioned earlier on. Just been called up on Friday for the national U17 team, and a collision with Daly and Osorio. It is again, lofted up in the air. Daly coming for it. Both players with their eyes on the ball, and Daly coming onto the back of Osorio. Referee understandably immediately calling for an infringement. Well, Diego Konings, 23 years old from Netherlands, played for St. Louis University. Just one season, 17 starts, and has that advantage of playing for both in the Netherlands and in US soccer, giving him a mix of exactly what's expected and then the grassroots of Dutch football. Intercepted by Guido. Cincinnati. Castellano, the cross into the side netting. Playing it short from the back. Konings finding Harold Osorio. Turning. Can't get past Guido. Cuts back and wins the free kick, and the El Salvador international Gets the evil eye from the referee. Here's that trickery from Guido. The slide tackle, and Osorio took exception to that as Guido pulled it back. Too many hands. Castellano, the little center forward again, in and around this one. But so too is Tirkas, the left wing back. Would it be the in-swinger of the left footer or the out-swinger of the right? Tirkas, cross, headed out, not taken care of, and eventually it is. As far out as Daly. Clips it back in. Castellano, he's onside. Across the face of the goal, and Shannon to the rescue. Well, Jalen Shannon, 23 years old, first season in the MLS Next Pro. And this portion of the match is brought to you by MSFS Bank. We stand for service. WSFS rather. As Castellano takes another corner kick. Headed out, top of the box. Tirkas. And Mangione is onside. Saved by Los. It was a blinder. Tirkas again. Castellanos. Trying to lay it on for Mangione. And what an opportunity for the attacking midfielder, Peter Mangione, to get on the scoreline. But the reflex save by Patrick Los was absolutely special. Only had time to react. Didn't have a chance to think about it. And he's kept his team and this score at 0-0. Laid back to Rochester. To Schaefer rather. Out by Morse. Pressure by Aguero. And despite giving up the throw, Chicago Fire may see it as an opportunity to counter-press and press up really high. Stitz given away. Casas. Shannon will go all the way back to Patrick Los. Looking for Harold Osorio. Look at the skill. Turns on Guido effortlessly. Aguero, heavy touch. Allows Shukaluk to get on the ball, and we mentioned hands in the pass. And the referee stays true and consistent. Anytime a player puts his hands on another player, out comes the whistle. So the El Salvadorian, Harold Osorio, second season in MLS Next Pro, 11 appearances, 8 starts, 3 goals and 5 assists in 2023. We'll try to clip this one just in front of that 18-yard spot. Out by Guido. Rochester. Sprayed out to the left-hand side. Daly, Shukaluk. Aguero has the final say. Diego Kohnlink going all the way back. Omari Glasgow. High press from Ben Stitz. Well, FC Cincinnati too have a different philosophy this season. It's a more mature group in 2024. Mixture of young and old. They've signed 8 players to MLS Next Pro contracts. And they've also acquired an international roster spot from Timbers FC for the rest of the season. Amir Daly. Lovely tackle by Rochester. Clipped inside, but stolen by Foster. And stolen by Osorio. Shukaluk is ahead of him. Still Osorio. The shot! Good save in the end by Morse. Well, you cannot take your eyes off of Harold Osorio. He used Shukaluk as bait, and as they drifted away from him, he let it fly. But a great save in the end by Hunter Morse. Foster going all the way back. Out by Morse. Poreba, who's been quiet in the last 10 minutes. But Castellano has not been quiet. Drifting out to this left-hand side. Helped on, the cross comes in. Rochester and Daly going at it. And a throw in, the last touch coming off of the right wing back from FC Cincinnati, so Chicago will get back possession. Turned by Stitz, but intercepted by Osorio. Trying to thread the needle, and Aguero and Schaefer were there. And this ball has hit the referee, so it's going to be drop ball for Chicago. And on the ball is Sergio Origel Jr., who has just been called up on Friday for the US U19 team for games versus Morocco and England. What an opportunity for the youngster. Rochester. Excellent tackle by Ramos. Trying to release, but Shannon is there. Casas. Out wide is Billy Hensey. Converted to a right back to suit their free-flowing style. Omari Glasgow. Gets past one effortlessly. Still Glasgow. Trying to find Osorio. Ramos. Tickus. Glasgow's persistence pays off. Keeps it in place somehow. Ramos, 6'3", El Salvadorian, no, from Venezuela. And he covers a lot of ground for this FC Cincinnati team in midfield. Schaefer, Aguero. So far they have counteracted the press really well. FC Cincinnati playing around it and through it as well. So 31 minutes gone. This game still deadlocked at 0-0. A real chance for FC Cincinnati with Peter Mangione foiled by a fantastic save by Patrick Lose. That was the best chance of the match so far. Big switch by Schaefer. Castellano. Actually, it's Tirkas. Coming all the way up with left wing back. Finding Castellano. Is it a corner? It is. Well, Jesus Castellano, 24 appearances, 3 goals and 4 assists in 2023. This portion of the match is brought to you by Independence. Clipped in. Still in the air. Los comes out. Can't hold on to it. Cleared away by Osorio. Guido. Oh, a lovely bit of flick over the top, and he can't continue the move. Alejandro Guido. Superbly done. The player coach. Great communicator. Speaks, of course, Spanish, coming from Mexico. Played under Landon Donovan in San Diego Loyal in the USL Championship. Aguero. Foster. Aguero goes down, wins the free kick. Taken quickly, Ramos. Tikas. Shannon goes all the way back to Los. Played short, here's Ramos. Now Chicago Fire making it very clear that they have three ideas this season. They're going to be a box-to-box team where the defenders are expected to join the attack and the attackers must join the defense. Fitness is key. Move the ball, play from the back, and then disrupt the opponents in their own half when their opponents have the ball. And that came straight from the mouth of Ludovic Tellen there. Konings goes out wide to Rochester. Soria wins the free kick. Out by Konings. Met by Guido, and here comes Chicago with Rochester. Outside of the foot, doesn't work. Stitz, who is the glue for this team up top, brings it down effortlessly, and here comes Castellano. Has Tikas to his left, didn't see him. Mangione. Foster slips it through and into the arms of Patrick Los. Konings, so calm on the ball. One of the reasons they picked him up is his ability to play out of the back. Glasgow having a rough go at it in this opening 35 minutes. Guido, Mangione, Guido, Amir Daly comes in on that left foot, but cleaning up is Harold Osorio. Oh, lovely bit of skill by Origel Jr. Pareba, he's brought down, referee keeping an eye on it, but here's Billy Hensey. Glasgow, they are queuing up for the cross. Glasgow slowing it down. Casas appealing for a corner kick and gets it. And now the referee is going to go back and caution Yair Ramos for that late challenge on Pareba. Well, he's a physical player, played in Caracas Football League in Venezuela. Yair Ramos. And David Poreba took full effect from that tackle. Here's Osorio. Cross comes in. Guido looking to start a counter. Starting to be closed down. Goes down, Mangione. And Ramos decides to slow things down. Schaefer clicks it quickly, and Guido, as quickly as they take it, is as quickly another foul comes in. And Osorio being warned verbally by the referee. Foster, Turcus. Hensey looking inside, but Aguero is there. Intercepted. And somehow Aguero gets there again. He's everywhere. And a free kick for FC Cincinnati too. Referee tells Osorio that is his last chance before going into his book. Turcus. Here's Foster. Outside of the foot clearance by Morse was impressive. Daly, you can hear the ooze from the crowd, couldn't keep it in play from a lovely flick from Ben Stitz. Lamont Rochester from Jamaica will get this throw in. Shukaluk is bumped, and Guido was allowed the physicality. Daly. FC Cincinnati have yet to beat this Chicago Fire team after 2 seasons. 0 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. Here's Daly. And there's those hands again, and there's that whistle again. Poreba the culprit. Guido takes it quickly. Guido into the feet of Ben Stitz, disrupted. Rochester, Origel Jr. Hensey. Sliding tackle by Stitz. Osorio gets past one. Poreba goes out wide. Glasgow with some space. Overlapping is Hensey. Hensey, the cross. Had too much mustard on it. Rochester helped on. Oh, and 3 flick-ons gives Origel Jr. some room. Here's Shukaluk trying to turn, gets it back into the feet of Poreba. Ramos. Poreba gets it back, goes down. Referee says no penalty. Glasgow. Still Glasgow. This shot. Well defended by Turcus. Konings. Here's Jalen Shannon from Western Michigan University. Great mentality, and attended St. Joseph High School, where he anchored the team to a championship in 2016. Konings, two-footed player, Rigel Jr., and they get out of the press, and here's some room for Pureba to work in. Out wide to Rochester. But Brian Schaefer from USF clears it away. Schaefer, an AAC all-rookie team in 2020, and was picked up in the MLS 2024 Super Draft by FC Cincinnati. Pureba into the path of Osorio. Turcus. Glasgow gets a foot on it, but only as far as Foster. Castellano. Shannon tackles, still Castellano. Ramos. Turcus. Gets past two players, but can't get past Osorio. But Ramos cleans up. Over the top, beautifully played by Aguero. Here's Ben Stitz. Stitz cuts inside on that right foot. Stitz. And it was Pureba coming all the way back to help out his defenders. Isaiah Foster. Guido. Casas clears. Battling is Castellano. But Origel Jr. to Glasgow. Shukaluk is in front of him. It's in the path of Shukaluk. But Aguero again, timing that run, that extra pace and physicality makes something hard look so easy. Confirmation from the sideline, 1 minute of added time. Can Castellano make some inroads? Castellano. Still Castellano, the shot! And it's been blown off. Referee says no goal. Amir Daly was in an offside position, blocking the path of Los. And a bit of brilliance by Castellano has to be waved off. Here he is in full flow. Jesus Castellano cutting in on Shannon. Unleashes, but Amir Daly right in the sight of Patrick Los in an offside position. Hampered the keeper's eyesight. And the goal has been waved off, so we are still deadlocked at 0-0. Los right at the last second. Origel Jr. Rochester, and the pass just a little off. And Aguero will just shepherd it out. We are in the dying embers of this first half. Hunter Morse will direct some traffic. And that whistle signifies the end of the first half. These two teams, FC Cincinnati 2 and Chicago Fire FC 2, deadlocked at 0-0. Jesus Castellanos' goal waved off in the last minute to keep the score even. When we return to NKU Soccer Stadium in Highline Heights in Kentucky, we'll have first half highlights and more to come. Stay tuned.
Hits the crossbar. Second chance. Nodded through. Here's Manungo. 65th minute. This is where he excels. Back. Tidally puts it away. Arellano. Eludes one. Arellano! It's a juicy rebound, and it's a chance that's put away. Nearly a stumble there from Ellerin. Recovers, pushes it away, and now it's the full-time whistle. And on opening night, Tacoma takes down the defending champs. 3-second half goals. Hawkins, Batch, and Canceros score for the Defiance.
Artemas puts it in, and Atlanta takes a 1-0 lead in the 12th minute. Solis trying to knock this match. He's successful, and we're tied one apiece. Freeman still pressing forward. Now this is Gusky. Wonderful! Colin Gusky. Eric Centeno sends it in. And it's in the back of the net!
Well, Gray gets on the end of that ball in behind. It's still Gray! He scores! This was poked out. McGrath is dispossessed. It's Ollie Wright! Oh, brilliant! Now one of Chattanooga's substitutes, Jovan Villafara, will step up to take this all-important spot kick. And he scores the spot kick. Villafara makes it 3-2 Chattanooga. Final rounds of scheduled spot kicks. And Ollie Wright, who sent us here, has to score, and he doesn't! Jonathan Burke saves for Chattanooga! And in their first ever MLS Next Pro encounter, Chattanooga win it on kicks from the mark.
Well, our score at the half is still deadlocked at 0-0. These two teams locking horns in Kentucky. Well, the MLS Next Pro expanded by 2 clubs in the 2024 season. Let's get to know one of them by meeting Carolina Core FC.
I think it's going to be an amazing story.
We're all very excited to start off the season.
It's my first professional season. Great teammates, great coaching staff. Couldn't ask for a better setup.
It's a new club in a town that's been around for a long time as far as soccer is concerned.
I would put this staff up against any MLS staff.
I just think that it's super important so that kids who are playing soccer at the youth level can kind of look upwards, go to games, dream a little bit, come to our training sessions, see what it feels like in person, and really fall in love with the sport and continue to grow with the sport.
Established in 2002, Carolina Core FC will be joining MLS Next Pro this season. Based in High Point, North Carolina, the club will open their season at nearby neighbors in Charlotte, Crown Legacy FC. Let's get to know about the club in the core region of Carolina, nicknamed the Foxes.
There's something for everybody here. And even though the Carolina Core itself isn't one large metropolitan like the Raleigh-Durham area or the Charlotte area, we have a little bit of everything for people that want to live here. We're nestled in a town of not that many people, but around us within about 20 minutes, there's different cities in 4 different counties. And when you look around, especially in the springtime and the summertime, it's just lush green everywhere, red dirt clay, which you'll see in our logo, which is reflective of the region.
Carolina Core's project has been able to attract names that soccer fans across the country are familiar with.
This whole project has attracted people in a way that I never would have imagined. And one of those people is Eddie Pope. Eddie is from High Point, born and raised. When we were starting this project, we reached out to Eddie just to let him know that we were doing it and hoping that he would come for an appearance or two because he is Eddie Pope. And it turns out that he was really interested in what we were doing, and he wanted to be involved in a really real way. And so he ended up becoming our chief sporting officer. He is the one that has built this amazing technical staff. He loves this town, and he said to me, he said, Megan, I never imagined that I would be able to come back home and do what I love.
For me, coming back to this region is one of the most satisfying things. We are very fortunate in that we had a really good runway of a year plus to be able to put all the pieces in place. We really needed that whole year, and so I think that's been beneficial.
They've used the time they've had wisely, bringing in staff with invaluable experience.
When I was thinking about the staff and how I wanted to build it out, the first thing that came to my mind was who's the best. You look at Diamond Ricketts, right? He was a former goalkeeper of the year, played in the World Cup.
We've assembled a good group of players. Talent is there. Hopefully, once we get going, it'll be a wonderful season.
Andy Williams played in the World Cup, MLS Cup champion, Open Cup champion.
Eddie's done a great job bringing us all in, different aspects of our lives and careers right now, and formed a great bunch, and I'm excited to be a part of this.
We're last year, obviously Golden Boot winner. U.S. men's national team.
Expect some young players, definitely with high intensity, high energy, players that are going to look to try to go forward and just showcase themselves, but also they're going to have a level of maturity too.
Amado Guevara, which a lot of people don't know, MVP of a Copa America, MVP of MLS.
Se ha formado un grupo de jugadores, ¿no? Que con características muy interesantes, que son muchos de ellos con el deseo de seguir creciendo. Entonces nuestro trabajo va a ser ese, terminar de formarlos y potenciarles, ¿no? Sobre todo cada una de las facetas y de las condiciones que ellos presenten para que, en un futuro sea cada vez mejor y más sólido, individual y colectivamente.
I'm working every day in the locker room with a sense of gratefulness. I feel like I'm lucky to be able to work with these people that I already did it in the very highest level.
It's a blessing. I've already learned so much. I feel like, it's crazy to say, but I'm a completely different player than I was 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I'm just excited for more weeks, more months, and I can't imagine what my game is going to be at the end of the year.
Our first week together was like we've known each other for a whole year, a whole season already. We've all connected so well. I love every single one of those guys out there. They're family to me, and I have their back when we're on the field, and I believe they'll have mine as well.
Once we start to play, and especially when we get that first home match, I think the vibes will really start to kick off.
We're gonna be working super hard for the team. We're gonna be doing everything we can to defend the cause of this team.
We're here for the community and also for this club, and we represent this badge. And as long as we have each other, that's all we need.
This is the community's team, and I want them to feel as much a part of the ownership group as we are, because this is what we built it for. We built it for our community, we built it for our players, and so I want them to know that this is theirs.
Excitement is gaining across the core region as fans await their club's MLS Next Pro debut.
Anytime I go out, I have on something with the Fox on it, and people starting to recognize it. And I'm like, oh, you guys are the new soccer team, we're excited to have you. It's awesome.
Definitivamente que hemos sentido el respaldo, ¿no? de la gente. Como es un proyecto nuevo, mucha gente no sabía de ello y poco a poco va metiéndose, poco a poco va teniendo la inquietud de conocer más. Y bueno, sobre todo la comunidad latina, ¿no? Yo no esperé que había tanto hondureño por aquí y me he encontrado mucho hondureño que ya está esperando el juego, inclusive no solo el juego inaugural aquí, sino que el juego en la ciudad de Charlotte, donde vamos a tener nuestro primer juego. Nosotros como equipo pues vamos a estar esperando ese apoyo y ese cariño de nuestra gente.
The people in the front office have really done a lot. They're working tireless to get out in the community, let people know who we are. Likewise, our players and our staff, we want to get out there too as well, and let the community know that we're here so people are able to come out and see us.
Truist Point is being renovated and set to host the club's inaugural home match on June 1st. Before then, fans will follow the Foxes on the road as they get ready for this historic season.
One of the things I just love about the sport is that it's such a unifier. I'm so excited to see how many people come into our stadium and come watch our team play, all walks of life, because our city alone has over 80 languages spoken in it. I mean, we really have a very diverse community, and I believe that soccer is one of those things that can just bring people together and bring them together in such a fun way.
We are back in NKU Soccer Stadium, Highland Heights, Kentucky. FC Cincinnati 2-0 and Chicago Fire FC 2-0. So we're going to take a look at some highlights and the schedule for these upcoming games. Let's head to the schedule first to see the upcoming matches for these two teams. Chicago Fire on Friday will take on TFC 2, Toronto FC. Hunter City FC 2 will take on Orlando City. Timbers take on the Town. Then Saturday, Whitecaps, Real Monarchs. Chattanooga will take on FC Cincinnati 2 on Saturday at 3 p.m. Then Sunday, a full slate of games. Atlanta United 2, Carolina Core. Crown Legacy, Columbus Crew. Philadelphia Union, 3 p.m. versus New England Revolution. Los Angeles Football Club 2, Houston Dynamo. New York Red Bulls will host Inter Miami 2, Sporting KC and Ventura County. St. Louis City 2, North Texas SC, and then the nightcap, Tacoma Defiance, Colorado Rapids, 10 p.m. on Sunday. Well, let's take a look at the first half highlights as these two teams battled hammer and nail in the first 45 minutes. It was an incredible save by Patrick Lose from the feet of Patrick Mangione to keep this score at 0-0. He was called up to the US national team, Patrick Lose, U17 team, and boy did he show us why. Incredible stuff from the Chicago Fire FC goalkeeper. Then it was Harold Osorio counter-attacking. They backed off of him and a thunderous shot and a great save by Hunter Morse. So the two goalkeepers showing off their talents. Then Jesus Castellanos in the last minute of the first half cuts inside on Shannon, drives the ball to the last post, it goes in, but Amir Daly hampered the sight of the goalkeeper and it was waved off. So the score stayed at 0-0 after 45 minutes as these two teams have put on a show in the home opener in 2024. Well, I tell you what, Tyrone Marshall has been busy in the off-season. FC Cincinnati have contracted 7 players in the off-season. Alejandro Guido, Yair Ramos, Yenir Valoyes, Nico Benalcazar, Moises Tablante, and Amir Daly all signed in January. And then in February, Brian Schaefer and Peter Mangione were signed as the busy off-season concluded in February 2024. As for Chicago Fire, they continue to play that incredible attacking style of football, bringing in David Poreba, Christian Kofi coming in from Monaco, France, where he played some youth football, and then he went across to Fiorentina. Didn't have a successful spell in Italy, and now is getting a second chance in Chicago for the talented midfielder from France, Christian Kofi. Then Jason Shukaluk, the debutant who was picked up in the 35th overall in the MLS Super Draft. He was signed to an MLS Next Pro contract for Chicago Fire in the off-season. It is a cloudy, gray spring day in Kentucky. It's in the early 50s, a little bit of a breeze as well. You can see the flag in the background. Have to say that Ilya Turkas and Isaiah Foster have done a terrific job in closing down Omari Glasgow on the Chicago Fire right-hand side, FC Cincinnati left. So Mangione, Castellano, and Ben Stitz, that three leading the front line for FC Cincinnati 2. And you can see the breeze, and Alejandro Guido, who played most of his career in San Diego, is having a hard time adjusting to the windy, cold conditions of Kentucky. So Cincinnati get us underway. Long ball over the top from Schaefer. Loose playing it short. Here's Poreba. Shannon. Going short. And it is Javier Casas Jr. laying it back to Patrick Lose. Flicked on by Ramos, helped on by Guido, and the turn by Mangione. Castellano stood his ground, thought he was offside. Isaiah Foster. And Shukaluk plays it all the way back to Shannon. Intercepted by Tirkus. Ben Stitz, that final touch let him down. He had Shukaluk to his left, just couldn't execute. Harold Osorio. So a long throw into the feet of Ben Stitz. Stitz very much the glue for this team up top. He played the ball to his feet, and Aguero showing his ability and bravery across that back line. Osorio goes down. He's a large man, Osorio. Long legs, impressive stride. This one chipped over the top by Stitz, looking for Castellano. Shannon is there. This kick by Guido. Guido trying to thread it through for Tirkus. Here's Omari Glasgow. NC car control. Guido again. Trying to slip it through. Konings to the rescue. Origel Jr. He is quite the player. Has played for the US U19 team in the Pan American Games in 2023. The number 35 for Chicago. Aguero looking for Daly. Daly anticipating the clearance, and Konings wins it back. Rochester. Ramos, who was cautioned halfway through the first half. Castellano. Guido. Oh, a lovely bit of trickery by Guido to the path of Tirkus. Tirkus right-footed shot. Desperate defending by Hensey. Slip through. Here's Shukaluk. He has Schaefer next to him, shepherding him. And Chicago Fire win their first corner of this second half. Well, so much to talk about in the off-season. MLS Next Pro going to 29 teams from the 28 from last season. Two new teams coming in, Chattanooga FC and then Carolina Core. And we saw that promotional bit from Carolina Core at halftime. Osorio. And you can see that wind bringing that ball in. Laid it back top of the box, the shot. Here they are again, it's Casas. Rochester to the last post. And this one goes wide. Here's that delivery again, right into the kitchen of Morse. Shot by Casas. And a crowd of defenders and attackers in the box. This one slipped through. Shook a look. Tries from way out. Mari Glasgow asking the reason. Ramos given away. Omari Glasgow. It's 1v3 at the moment. He goes down. That strong physical presence of Ramos. Castellanos and Shannon is going to get booked for his worries. Jalen Shannon is the first Chicago player to be cautioned, to go along with Yair Ramos for FC Cincinnati. Isaiah Foster standing over this one. He traveled to Mexico as well with Aguero to play against Monterrey. One of the proudest moments for Tyrone Marshall is to see 7 of his FC Cincinnati 2 players on the roster in Mexico for the Champions Cup, as the pipeline is in good standing for this club. Over the course of the first 2 seasons in MLS Next Pro, the player pathway has worked as is intended. 90 players have signed MLS first team contracts, and 400 players have gotten short-term call-ups to the MLS first teams. This one played into Castellano. Back, and it's chipped all the way across to Turcus. Well, a window for a counter-attack for FC Cincinnati, and they did not execute. Looks like Origel Jr. is pleading his case. Guido asking for a free kick, didn't get it. Osorio, he's dispossessed by Mangione. Castellano took us to his left. Castellano is shot by Stitz! But just like that, Castellano created some space, and Ben Stitz with that incredible technique. Here's Castellano just nibbling at the defense. Stitz peels off, and a thundering drive about a yard to the left of the first post. Isaiah Foster took us. Ramos. Castellano. Ramos making that run. Castellano cuts inside, chips it into Ben Stitz, but there's Konings. That statuesque figure at the centre-back position. Guido gives up the free kick. Origel Jr. in his 2 seasons, 24 appearances, 17 starts, 3 goals, 2 assists for Chicago Fire. Ramos somehow keeps it in. Player complains of a high hand. Konings intercepts. Stitz is harassing. And here's Osorio. Rochester. Origel Jr. Little 1-2 with Shukaluk. Podeba trying to follow up. Spraying it to Omari Glasgow. Almost an impossible ball from Podeba to Glasgow. Foster clears. And a foot race with Castellanos and Shannon, understanding the breeze is a factor in Kentucky this evening. Lose goes out wide. Excellent turn by Podeba. Ramos read it and almost pickpocketed him. A switch of play. Amir Daly. Mangione. Tikas going out wide. Stitz helps it on. Guido looking for support. Stitz. Tikas. Here's Ramos. Foster retreating all the way back to Hunter Morse. And there's just been a Omari Glasgow with space. And a correction, Connor Stout at 64 at left wing back. We've made the mistake of calling him Ilya Tikas. It's actually Connor Stout with a late change just before the start of the first half. Here is Patrick Lose going out wide. Played short to Foster. Turned away by Castellano. Here's Stout under pressure. Shannon helped on. Ramos playing it into the path and well read by Javier Casas Jr. Origel clipping it through beautifully. Shukaluk. Heavy first touch, but that vision by Sergio Origel Jr., who plays on the first team for Chicago Fire, has now been relegated to the second team to find his form. It's just a bit of magic to pick out Jason Shukaluk. Brian Schaefer is asking questions. Shukaluk looking for Glasgow, intercepted by Ramos. Ramos going all the way back. Out wide to Daly. And Konings is dispossessed, but the recovery was incredible by the centre-back. Amir Daly played for the New York Red Bulls Academy, 89 appearances for that club. Now finds himself in FC Cincinnati 2, MLS Next Pro. Ben Stitz, dispossessed. Osorio. Goes down, no call from the referee. Stitz again. Intercepted. Played into the path. Shukaluk. And Ramos is a dispossessing machine in the midfield. The number 52 for FC Cincinnati. Out by Morse. Short, Glasgow. Hensey can't stay up with Ramos. Castellanos, a little frustrated. So a change of players. We have number 68 for Chicago, Vitaly Hilliard, coming in. And then we have number 62, Dylan Borso, making his debut for the 2024 season. So 2 subs for Chicago. Casas coming out. And Hilliard coming in. So to Dylan Borso. And when it comes to FC Cincinnati, number 50, it's going to be Yenier Valois Romana making his way in. Played short, out by Morse. Daly. Stitz. Cutting inside. Stitz looking to the last post. Castellano gives chase. Stout is there. Corner Stout into the path of Ramos. Poreba goes down, and would it be the... It's going to be a yellow card on the substitute. He's been on the pitch for 60 seconds. And Valois goes into the referee's books. Yenier Valois came from Socrates Valencia FC. He's a Colombian, number 50. And he's just a new addition for the squad in 2024. He's pressuring to try to make up for that challenge. Konings plays it inside beautifully to Shukaluk. Origel into the path of Poreba. Osorio. Origel Jr. just flicking it to Shannon. Hensey showing off that skill. Omari Glasgow. Back to Hensey, the 1-2, Glasgow into the path. Poreba. Shukaluk is there, and it's just a yard in front of him. But the build-up was spectacular. It was Hensey, Glasgow, Poreba, and the final pass just couldn't find Shukaluk. This portion of the match is brought to you by Bimbo. Glasgow. Here's Daly, cleared away. Slip to Origel Jr. Poreba. Hensey was brought all the way to right back to show off that skill. Glasgow's cross, it's a good one. And just out of play. But Omari Glasgow with a fantastic delivery. It was in the area of uncertainty where the defenders were facing their own goal. Flicked on by Daly. Wins it back. Persistence pays off. And it's going to be another yellow card. It's Harold Osorio. So as the fatigue starts to set in, some lazy tackling from the players on the pitch. Another caution. Schiffer. Kiro. Daly goes down. Again, another clumsy tackle. We are 65 minutes in to the home opener for FC Cincinnati 2, hosting Chicago Fire FC 2. Score is still deadlocked at 0-0. Oh, Aguero just clattered to the ground. And somehow the substitute Vitaly Hillat stays out of the referee's box. Intercepted. Valois looking for the shots outside of the foot. And his coaches were crying for the shots. Didn't want to unleash the left foot. Went for the outside of the foot with the right. And did not pay off dividends. Poriba has Hulliot to his right, to his left rather. Still Poriba. Now he's dispossessed by Ramos as ever. Incredible player in the center of the park, Ramos. Continues to disrupt. Ben Stitz. Stitz shots, and it's just wide. Well, Ben Stitz, 7 goals in 2023, looking for his first in 2024. And he's one of those prospects who they expect to make the leap to the first team in the near future. Played short. Here's Stitz again. Back on the left foot, and Daly spoons it over. Well, they call him the glue up top for some reason, Ben Stitz. He has the eyes in the back of his ears. Flicked on by Valois. Stitz first touch, cuts into that left foot. He saw Daly out of the corner of his eye, and Daly just got under it and spooned it over the crossbar. What a chance. Schaefer going all the way back. Oh, a heavy touch by Morse. Glasgow. Osorio somehow gets it back. Origel Jr. Anytime Ramos is in the vicinity, players get rid of the ball very quickly. Slips it inside. The little 1-2. Daly's going to take this throw in as quickly as he could. Ramos cuts inside. Nonchalantly gives it up to Omari Glasgow. and Chicago Fire. Origel Jr., beautiful pass, 1-2, slips it into the path, and the cross was spliced. But Origel Jr. gives you the feeling that he can play the game with a glass of wine in his hand. Spectacular to look at. This portion of the match is brought to you by LSA, Language Service Associates. Reach them at www.lsa.inc. But Origel Jr. has been spectacular in the midfield, just caressing the ball around the park. And in the last 20 minutes in this opening game for these two teams in 2024. Omari Glasgow! And just like that, Chicago Fire get on the board. And it's through their superstar, Omari Glasgow, the Guyanese. A quick counter-attack. The clearance by Morse, intercepted, and just clipped over the top by Hilliard into the path of Glasgow, and a fantastic finish. No chance for Morse. And Omari Glasgow opens his account in 2024. Chicago Fire 1, FC Cincinnati 0. And Cincinnati's woes against Chicago continue. Winless in their first 5, have been knocking on the door just moments ago with Daly, and now go behind with a cheap shot. A quick counter, and Glasgow capitalizes. And now they take a 1-0 lead. Valois. Castellano nibbling on this left-hand side. Cross comes in, cleared away by Osorio. And we have some more substitutions on the next dead ball. Here's Stitz. Can they get one back? And Stitz, with his frustration, has fouled the player. And the free kick for Chicago. Here comes those substitutions. And it's going to be Nessie, number 58 for Chicago. Coming in for number 44, Jason Shukaluk. Well, his debut, Jason Shukaluk, didn't get many opportunities. And Michael Nessie, the 19-year-old in his 3rd season, MLS Next Pro, makes his 2024 debut. Los gives it away. Daly. Still Daly. Oh, and he equalizes! Amir Daly makes up for his miss and comes to his team's rescue. A brilliant individual effort from the right wing back. He intercepted, he picked the pocket, and then cut inside. He looked up and just slipped it past Los in the far corner. And now this game is deadlocked at 1-1. Amir Daly gets his first goal of the season. And what a time to grab it. The finish was calm and collected, but the pickpocket was spectacular to create the play for himself. Here he is. Borso wins the free kick. It was Borso's delivery that found Omari Glasgow for the opener, and he was pickpocketed for the equalizer. And now Daly has gone to ground. So here comes the trainer for FC Cincinnati 2. It is Anthony Matabosh who will be looking after Daly on that far side. Borso. Ramos somehow gets it back. He's so eloquent to go along with his physicality. Look at him go. Blowing past players with elegant ease. Foster. Stout. Ramos can't keep it in play. Odejel Jr. out wide to Konings. Here's Osorio. Konings. And one of the pluses of having Konings on the pitch, he can push forward in that position and create. Poreva. Shannon. Hensey. Little dink from Odejel Jr. Player goes down. Mari Glasgow. Hensey. Can't keep possession. Stout goes to ground. Mari Glasgow. Out by Foster. No nonsense. Gain yards and reset. Konings. Early ball over the top, looking for Omari Glasgow again. Could he get it? He can! Omari Glasgow! Well, that's what Diego Konings can give you from the Netherlands. All the way from centre-back, a picture-perfect pass. And Omari Glasgow couldn't finish. And Connor Stout seems to be having a hard time. He's labouring on this left-hand side. And here's some more substitutions. This portion of the match is brought to you by Torque. Think ahead. So it looks like Amir Daly has re-entered the pitch and a push in the back of Aguero from Vitali Hulyat. Oh, expertly done by Morse under pressure. Somehow they get past that Chicago Fire press, and now they have space with Valois. Daly, full of confidence on that right-hand side. Across the face of the goal for Castellano. Mangione states the shot. Great save by Los rather. Konings. Poreba. David Poreba played for Crown Legacy before he went to Poland. He had 6 goals and 5 assists in 2023 for Crown Legacy. And he's certainly one that Chicago Fire are looking at to promote in the near future. This one played to Omari Glasgow. Keeps it in play. Hulyat lays it back. Header, and just over the bar, it was Billy Hensey coming in from right back, clipping that header over the bar. And substitutions. Number 44, Benjamin Stitz, will make his way off the pitch. And coming in his place will be number 77, Stefan Chirila. And number 64, Connor Stout, comes off. And in his place is number 61. It is Nicholas Samways. Castellano working his magic, looking for the substitutes. It was Chirila. Nine minutes of regular time remaining. This game still deadlocked. Conlinks. Over the head of Samways, and Omari Glasgow, who's been arriving late on this right-hand side, continues to create havoc. Poreba lays it back. Glasgow. The cross. Headed out by Schaefer. Hinks. Spreading it out wide. Borso. Odegel Jr. tries to play it through and into the arms of Hunter Morse. Man from Belleville, Michigan. 25 years of age, Hunter Morse. Drafted in the second round. Out by Borso. Valoyes. Chirila. Valoyes. Timely tackle by Shannon. Poreba to Glasgow. Heavy touch on Foster. And there's that late whistle. It's going to be a foul on Foster. He wins that free kick. Castellano, slipping inside, Valoyes, back to Castellano! What a tackle by Konings. Samways, sliding tackle from Hensey, and it's a corner kick for FC Cincinnati. Harold Osorio, who's covered every blade of grass on this pitch, is now suffering from some cramps. It's going to be attended to. So Osorio comes off, and we'll have to go to the sideline to re-enter. So corner kick for FC Cincinnati. Can they capitalize? Castellano to do the honors. Castellano to the near post, headed out, and he shot from on top of Valoyes. Cleared away. Here's Daly, responsible for the equalizer. A solo effort from the right wing back. Chipped over the top, out by Konings. Agado, Daly. Glasgow coming inside. Poreba. Chicago just trying to possess. Switch of play. Looking for Glasgow, who's not there, but Samways is. Agado. Playing it short to Chirila. Mangione. Chirila. Has Voloyes next to his side. Chirila, heavy touch. Invites Konings. And Konings obliges. Intercepted by Ramos. Heavy tackle by Voloyes. Shannon clears. Mangione. Ramos. Here they come again. Drifting, cutting inside into the path of Chirila. And that's what Castellano can bring. Create space for himself and others. Schaefer coming all the way from centre back. Daly, full of confidence, and a handball. Here's Hensey. Castellano. Castellano, can he win it? Oh, saved by Patrick Loss. Another 1v1 gem by the goalkeeper. Castellano again. Daly the cross. Just over the fingertips of Loss. Well, he had an absolute gem in the first half against Mangione, and a second one against Castellano. And Chicago Fire with 2 more substitutions. Romain Blake is set to make his entrance, and so too Peter Sudan. It's going to be Origel making his exit. Patrick Loss, 2 blinding saves to keep his team in the game. And there it is. Harold Osorio out, Blake in. Flicked on into the path. Out wide for Glasgow. Glasgow gets the better of Foster. Let's see how he does against Ramos, who is so good, the Caracas native. Look at those legs. Billy Hensey. Hooked in from the substitute Sudan. This one is into Morse's hands. Konings. Poreba goes down. Referee says play on. Mangione delivers the cross. And it was Blake, the substitute Blake, the Jamaican, deflecting it for a corner. And word from the sideline, 4 minutes of extra time. We have just completed the 90th minute. And the fourth official says 4 minutes of extra time. Castellano with the corner kick. Plays it short. Amir Daly. And Castellano is offside. So a goal kick. Oh, is it going to be a throw-in? It's going to be a throw-in for Chicago. It's Dylan Borso. Cleared away by Konings. Aguero. Headed on. Chirila. Hounding Konings. Borso. Daly. Here's Blake. Blake again. Into the path of Poreba. Out wide for Glasgow. Does he have more magic left? Glasgow's cross to the back post, the header. Was never really going to get much power behind it. It was Michael Nessie coming around the back post. Hunter Moss with the goal kick. Daly flick on. Angioni with the missed kick. Helped on by Valois. Ramos. Samways. Oh, through the legs of Hensey, but cleaned up by Blake. Ramos, as ever, dispossesses. Samways the throw-in. We're into the last minute and a half, 90 seconds of the 2024 home opener for FC Cincinnati and season opener for Chicago. Patrick Lose. Out by Konings. Here's Nessie. Slipping it through. Played out wide for Borso. Clipped inside. Good save by Morse. But Foster got the worst of it. And they've called to the sidelines immediately. It was Vitali, Hulliot, and Foster. And it was Morse, the goalkeeper, trying to punch it. And I think he got more of Foster's head than the ball. Here's that cross inside from Borso. Hulliot was there and punched right into the kisser of Isaiah Foster. And it came right in the last minute of extra time. Foster being attended to, slow to get up. As there's a conversation around the referee. Of whose fault it was. Isaiah Foster heroically gets to his feet and will have to come to the sideline. An applause from the crowd. Signed to the first team recently. Isaiah Foster has a long career ahead of him. And now that Foster has left the pitch. Schaefer has just told Ramos that he has now he has to go to a centre-back position. So we'll see how much time to be added on. Here comes that press immediately. Cleared away by Morse. Borso. Konings. This one is going to go all the way back to Schaefer and Morse. Chicago desperate to try and squeeze another goal. And that's the final whistle. FC Cincinnati come from a goal behind to equalize after Chicago Fire took an early lead. These two teams finish in their home openers as the scores finish 1-1 after 90 minutes, as they will share points and go to penalty kicks to see who will win this 2024 opener in the MLS Next Pro Series. A late equalizer by Amir Daly after Amari Glasgow gave Chicago Fire the lead in the second half. And now we have penalty kicks to decide who goes away with a point after these two battle for a 1-1 draw. Well, after a thrilling 90 minutes, the first for these two teams in the 2024 season, it comes down to penalty kicks to see who will walk away with a point. Both of these teams were feisty, quick, and competitive. Outstanding player for FC Cincinnati has to be Ramos. The Venezuelan Yair Ramos was brilliant in the middle of the park. As for Chicago Fire, it was Konings, the centre-back, who was so instrumental. And of course, Patrick Lose, who came off with those two blinding saves to keep this score even, has to be the most impressive players of the pitch in the opening 90 minutes of this 2024 season for these two teams. So the penalty kicks will be on the right-hand side of your screen. Patrick Lose and Hunter Morse make their way. There's the referee reminding, there's the assistant referee reminding the goalkeepers of the rules. So Chicago have won the toss and will elect to kick first. It'll be their star player, David Poreba, who's on loan from Stal Mielec in Poland. Played for Crown Legacy last year, scoring 6 goals and 5 assists in 2023. Also captained Charlotte FC in North Carolina, the Crown Legacy affiliate, 27 times. Quite the leader. And he will take the first kick from the penalty spot. Hunter Morse from Belleville, Michigan versus David Podeba from Lake Zurich, Illinois. Podeba. Oh, it's a beautiful penalty in the corner pocket to get Chicago on the board. And you usually put your best penalty kicker up front, and Podeba delivers. The run-up, the hesitation, and the execution. No chance for Morse. And now, Peter Mangione from Hunt Valley, Maryland, will try to respond for FC Cincinnati. Mangione! 1-1. And a word of advice of Mangione to his goalkeeper. No hesitation this time. Run up and corner pocket to make this game one apiece after the first round. Next penalty kick for Chicago, and it is 2-1. Excellently taken by Michael Nessie. Michael Nessie gives Chicago the lead. And now we have Brian Schaefer from Nicaragua, the USF alumni, will try to keep the score even. Schaefer, oh, great save by Patrick Lose. He's been one of the players of the match, and he steps up again. Called up to the national U17 team on Friday and delivers another great save at the expense of Brian Schaefer. Chicago take the lead after 2 rounds by 2-1. And it's the Dutch centre-back, Diego Konings, and he nesses it in the top corner. What a penalty. Konings steps up, opens up his hips, top bins, as they say. Chicago take a 3-1 lead, and it's up to Ramos, who is one of the players of the match as well, to keep pace. Cincinnati can ill afford to go 2 penalties down. And Patrick Lose is in the mood. Ramos, oh, beautifully taken. He sold the penalty right and then went left. And Yair Ramos delivers a beautiful penalty to make the score 3-2 to Chicago after 3 rounds. Now here's the man who scored the opening goal of the match, Omari Glasgow, the Guyanese superstar. Glasgow, right down the middle. (4-2) Chicago, but Cincinnati still have to take their 4th kick. It's going to be the centre-back, Isaiah Foster, who was injured in just about the last sequence of the game with a head injury. Foster steps forward, has to score this. Foster, beautifully taken. So they score now 4-3 after 4 rounds. And if Chicago score this 5th penalty, they will win and take the point. Foster burying it to his left. And all the pressure now on Hunter Morse. He has to save this. And it's going to be the substitute, the Jamaican, Romain Blake. Blake! And he wins it for Chicago. As calm as you like. Chicago Fire FC2 win on penalties. The initial game finished at 1-1, and the penalty kicks goes to Chicago Fire. They take the point as we conclude this opening match for the 2024 MLS Next Pro season. Chicago Fire come up trumps. FC Cincinnati losers. An intense affair, deadlocked after 90 minutes at 1 goal apiece. Amari Glasgow and Amir Daly, the goal scorers. But it was Romain Blake with the final penalty, and heroics from Patrick Lose, the U17 goalkeeper for Chicago Fire, the hero of the match. And what a finish to an incredible match in this season opener between these two teams. "27 more games to be played for these teams. It is quite the season. At the beginning, 14 home, 14 away. And they both get their first game under their belts. Lots of adjustments to be made, but has to be said, the quality on the pitch was spectacular, from the goalkeeper to the forward line. So the Adidas man of the match is none other than the Jamaican Romain Blake, who came in as a sub and was given the honors to finish the last and clinching penalty to give his home team, Chicago Fire FC2, the point on the road to FC Cincinnati. Romain Blake, the Adidas man of the match. Well, that wraps up the game opener for the MLS Next Pro 2024 season for these two teams. Deadlocked at 1-1, Chicago Fire FC2 winning on penalties. They take the point. We want to thank everyone for joining us on our broadcast. My name is Ryan Davis. We look forward to seeing you again on MLS Next Pro on Apple. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.